Distorted Fate, written by Silvac. Chapter 17, Magic.
You want to learn magic from me? I mean, I'm flattered, but I'm busy with research and...
Twilight said before I interrupted her.
No magic, no words then.
I said. I sat down to fold my forehooves across my chest as I scowled at her before realizing that I probably looked like a pouting child.
But the possible potential of linguistic advancement we could achieve from learning your language. Do you want to deny that to all pony kind?
Twilight asked, to which I gave no response.
How about I take you to Sugar Cube Corner to get you a nice treat? Want some chocolate cake?
No reply still.
How about I take you to the toy store? Wouldn't you like some new toys?
Sighing, I stood up and walked away from the two mares as I said,
I am going to find the Crusaders. Might as well try to find a cutie mark than this.
Behind me, I could hear Twilight struggling with indecision while I knew I was the one in control of the situation. That's right, still with the fact that I have something that you want and I'm not budging on my demands. Suddenly, I heard a pop with a purple flash appearing before my eyes and I saw Twilight appear out of nowhere. The sudden surprise caused me to jump back a bit as I temporarily entered a hostile stance before I abandoned it. Teleporting was something that I wasn't gonna get used to anytime soon.
Hey, wait, Aether. How about how about we make it fair? I'll get you someone to teach you magic and you can teach me your language.
Twilight said while putting on a desperate smile.
No, my way or no way, take your pick. Aether, you're being unreasonable. No, I am not letting go of what little stuff I have that has value. You want my language, bad, I can see, so I want something from you in return. I made my offer, so you have two choices. Agree to my offer or only have my letters that you do not understand. I will not change my mind on my offer.
Twilight blinked in shock after I finished talking, probably due to the level of insight I presented to her.
Well, Aether, magic is a complicated thing, and only so many unicorns are talented at that. I don't want to teach you only for you to find... So you are calling me stupid then?
I interjected as I sat down to fold my forelegs across my chest again.
What? No, I mean, it's more of that most unicorns can only learn spells related to their special talents, so you might not be able to learn many spells then.
I tilted my head at the word spell, but it didn't take me long to figure out that it was linked to magic. When is she gonna realize that she stands no chance of changing my mind?
So what? If I cannot learn many spells, so be it, but I will not change my offer. Time is not on your side though. Might forget some words later, since I have no one to talk to in my words.
I replied with a smug grin, putting a sense of urgency into the matter. Let's see what you got, Princess Twilight Sparkle.
This filly is so stubborn, but she has a point. If I don't have her language recorded soon, her memory of it may decay as she adapts to equestrian. But the research... No, that can wait. Those crystals show no signs of decay of any sort, but Aether's language might.
Twilight thought to herself. As she looked at the filly, who was giving her a smug look which only served to annoy Twilight even more, an idea sparked in her mind. Well, if she wants magic, might as well get her the full package and see how she likes it then.
Fine, I concede. I'll teach you magic in exchange for your language.
As Aether's smile gets wider at her perceived victory, Applejack joined the duo again as she said,
Are you sure, Sugar Cube? Aren't you busy with that crystal thing?
Keeping her voice as low as she could, Twilight replied,
Yeah, but I have an idea to make Aether change...
Till she was interrupted by Aether's coughing.
I can hear you,
Aether said with a frown as Twilight blushed and realized she may have been caught.
Why did that filly have to have sharp hearing?
Twilight thought.
Well, it was nice seeing you, but I think it's time Aether and I made our leave. We have some magic to get going to, and Aether needs to teach me more about her language's alphabet.
Twilight said as her horn lit up as she cast the teleportation spell. In a flash, the two of them were back in the library while Spike, who was doing some cleaning, jumped into the air in shock. Smiling a smug grin to herself, Twilight turned her attention to Aether, only to have her smile turn into a jaw-dropper. Sitting there calmly, Aether simply watched Twilight, though she did cock an eyebrow at Twilight's reaction.
What? How? Normally every pony gets sick from their first teleport.
Twilight, I thought I told you to get some fresh air and relax. Spike exclaimed after he gathered his wits.
I know, Spike, but Aether here is ready to teach me her language's alphabet, and I'm going to teach her some magic. So it's just two friends spending some time together.
Twilight replied. Still suspicious, Spike turned his attention to Aether, who simply nodded to show that Twilight was telling the truth. Well, just don't go back into the lab. You still need a break from all that crystal junk. Spike said as he returned to his chores, all the while Aether narrowed her eyes for a bit.
Well, I would ask you to start translating your alphabet, but I guess you'd rather have me teach you magic first, right, Aether?
Receiving another nod from the filly, Twilight continued.
Well, first you need to concentrate on your magic, which is normally in a specific part of their body depending on their tribe. For unicorns, as you might have already noticed, it's in their horns. Thus, you need to focus on the magic inside you and direct it to your horn first. It may take some time though if you're new. What?
Before her eyes, she sees Aether with her horn alight with a silver aura that matched her eyes, which were closed until they opened after she heard Twilight stammering.
What?
Aether asked as she tilted her head in confusion.
How did... Never mind, let's just move on. One spell that I know that all unicorns can learn is the basic telekinesis spell. Now in order to use the spell, you have to concentrate on the desired object that you wish to move and imagine your magical aura wrapping around the object. Once that step is done, you must imagine that your aura is like a pair of hooves tilting and manipulating the object as you lift it into the air and move it around as you desire. However, you have to watch how much magical force you apply to the object. Too little and you achieve nothing, too much and it will be sent flying across the room. Now I recommend that you start with something small and begin with wrapping your magic around it first. Now don't be frustrated when you... What?
Before her very eyes, Aether wrapped her magic around the book as she began to lift it up into the air, slowly at first before it picked up speed till it was at eye level with Twilight. Giving Twilight, who was gaping like a fish, a sneer, Aether said,
Still think I'm too stupid for magic?
My word, Twilight looks ridiculous. Hopefully this ends her belief that I'm too stupid or too young to learn some of their magic. Though by the looks of things, I guess a fool around my age shouldn't be able to pull stuff like this so quickly. Unless he tossed that fool into a multitude of dimensions where they learn how to adapt to any situation or die, like I had to deal with. Still grinning at my personal victory over Twilight, I slowly put the book down on the ground before releasing my magic as I panted for a second. I didn't expect to be out of breath for my first try. I guess magic takes it out of you when you're just starting out. After waving a hoof in front of Twilight to only see her mouth opening and closing still, I shrugged before taking a look around, spotting a nearby desk with an inkwell and quill at it. Taking a seat at the desk, I searched through the scrolls for a blank one before reaching the quill and grabbing it with my hoof. Since Twilight held up her end of the bargain, the fact that I know she was trying to discourage me notwithstanding, I might as well uphold my own end and provide her the alphabet translation she wanted. Which wasn't exactly easy for me since I had to figure out various combinations of the pony's letters to reproduce the sounds of my native alphabet's letters. After spending 10 minutes writing, I returned to the gaping alicorn to see that her mind was still broken from my display. Really? I'm starting to think that these ponies don't have a word for adaptability. Deciding enough was enough, I slapped Twilight with the rolled up scroll several times before she finally broke out of her stupor.
Hey, don't do that.
Twilight started before I shoved the scroll into her face. Giving me an annoyed glare, she pushed the scroll aside as she opened her mouth to speak. However, I stopped her in her tracks again as I let out a huff of annoyance as I opened up the scroll, showing her the alphabet translation. Twilight squealed as she realized what was before her as she grabs the scroll with her hooves, her eyes scanning the document like a madman. As I wondered just how damn excited she can get, she rolled up the scroll and hugged it to herself. Damn, she really wanted that translate, I thought before I was mentally stalled in my tracks as Twilight began to pet the scroll like a pet. That was one thing I certainly didn't see coming. Eventually, Twilight realized what she was doing as she blushed furiously before looking at me as she said,
"This is amazing! Your letters seem to cover various sounds that ours would produce when two letters are put together. Now we..." "Wait, why are you giving me this information now?"
She narrowed her eyes in suspicion due to my self-centered attitude from earlier.
"You taught me a spell, so only fair that I show you my letters in your own letters,"
I said as I noticed that I really need to learn more of their language still.
"Words come later. I teach you some after you teach me more magic. If I cannot learn more magic and you are right on my ability, then I will teach you all words. But only if I completely fail, so no more looking for a way to get out of this deal or I will get angry. Understand?"
Recoiling at my accusation, Twilight released a sigh as she said,
"Alright, that sounds fair after all, especially since I can't fool you to give up learning magic from me. Sorry for discouraging you from learning magic from me in my pursuit of your language. It is alright, we all make mistakes. I done some mistakes before too. Let us just move on. Do not have all day after all for this."
Giving me a small smile, Twilight nodded as she moved on to the next lesson in magic as I carefully listened to the best of my capacity. If I have the knack for their magic, I might be able to use it to my advantage. I also need to find out what Twilight has discovered about the Miraculous Shards, as well as find a way to steal them from her. As useful as magic could be, I doubt it can help them against the interdimensional forces out there. Welp, here you have another chapter of Distorted Fate. If you liked it, hit that like button and subscribe, and here is your daily dose of brainwashing. Bye.